everyone, and welcome to this interactive session with Mr. Nagender Garg. He is a leading media professional in one of the leading global media companies and has been working since last 4 years in that. And as we all believe that he has a very amazing job that he does. So I'll just let Mr. Nagender explain what his job is like.
First of all, hi everyone, and thanks Mohit for giving me this opportunity. So what I do at my job is basically I watch content, I make plans for my audience, the kind of content that my audience likes.
Right.
So I try to give them more and more of that with some bits of experiment. So yeah, that's what I do for a TV channel.
Great. So as I have known Mr. Nagender for the quite a long amount of time, it's been 12 to 15 years that I have known this person. And I just want to share the journey that he has lived through school, college, and work life. So we all get to know that how the spectrum has changed and how the things have matured and grown into much better than we imagined.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Nagender, how would you express your mindset during the school time that you were in school? Like, what was your mindset? What were the conversations around you? What were you doing at those times? What were in your mind and all those kind of things?
I think so. School was a decade back, and a decade back, or probably even now, I think school still remains. There's a fact that it is very much focused on grades. So I think at that point of time with me as well, I mean, I was not different from any other person. I was also focusing on my grades, getting better and better grades so that I excel in whatever thing I choose to do in future after I, pass out from school and eventually look for a college, because everything was dependent on grades. So I think in school, the mindset was pretty much clear with respect to just excelling in your grades,
like basically scoring as much as you can.
Definitely. Yeah.
And Nagender, how would you tell the audience that what were the discussions around you regarding the professional life that you can lead, and what was the discussions around you happening at that time regarding the work?
So with respect to the discussions, I think those discussions tend to start when you appear for your pre-boards exam. I mean, when we appeared for our 10th pre-board exams, that was when we used to select our choice of field, be it science, commerce, or arts. So largely people used to take science because it was considered something that a lot of
the
people
intelligent
value.
students used to.
Yeah, it's basically seen as the creamy layer of the school, and opting for science also gives you a little bit of it basically widens your horizon of options. So I think it was pretty much straightforward: science, commerce, or arts.
Right. And is there any other activity that you were interested in your school time apart from studies to explore the creative side of yours?
Well, I was very much interested in music. I mean, I remember up till 5th or 6th standard, I was really into the the music group of my school. And after that, once the pressure starts building on you that you have to sort of excel in your grades, it starts to mount on you, and then you tend to sort of backstep from those hobbies that you like and tend to focus more on just the studies.
As we used to say, in the race to score more, the hobbies had to take a backseat.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And what was the scenario around that time regarding the grades, learning? What was the scenario like? What mattered the most? Like your learning mattered or the grades mattered at that time?
I think both mattered, and to an extent, with respect to the system that is there, I think if you have a decent learning on a particular subject, you can excel in your grades. That's what I feel. I mean, learning is definitely important, but getting good grades was much more important. So if it happened through learning or it happened through cramming up those subjects, I think the grades, getting a good score was much more of importance.
And as you graduated from school in 2011, right? That's
Yeah,
entirely 10 years back, as
yeah,
we are
a
in
decade back. Yeah,
2021
yeah.
right now. Yeah, a decade back. And at that time, what stream did you choose after class 10? After class 10, like depending on your grades, and if you would like to share how much you scored for the sake of a better perspective of the audience, and what were you eligible for, and then what you chose depending on your interest.
Mm.
What were those decisions?
So I think at that time, in my school, I think things were pretty much strict with respect to grades, that you have to have certain percentage in pre-boards so as to be able to go for a science.
Right,
And science again was definitely considered something that every person values, right? So
right,
every other person wanted to actually go for science, but not everyone got it. So I too opted for science because, as I said, I just wanted to keep my options wide. And
right.
so I scored 85% in 10th, in 10th boards. And when the 11th standard started, on the first day, I shifted from science to commerce because I sort of made a decision that I don't want to get in-depth knowledge of chemistry, biology, or physics, because that's not what I am really interested in. Because we have surface knowledge of those subjects,
Right.
not even surface knowledge, I would call it uh, enough knowledge
Enough
on
knowledge.
those
Yeah.
subjects, until 10th, and it just gets deeper in 11th and 12th, which I did not want to go for. And my decision on changing this stream from science to commerce was basically the fact that I will get to learn some great subjects like accountancy, economics, business studies, because business studies and accountancy is something that you can uh, there is
Apply
there
on a
is
daily
real
basis.
application of those subjects. I mean, you see those subjects being applied into your day-to-day life in
Right.
whatever things that you do, and the understanding is slightly better of those subjects. So I just went forward with commerce.
Great. And as we believe that, as you rightly mentioned, we were already taught about physics, chemistry, and biology in class 6 to 10th for a basic
Yeah,
understanding of these subjects. Now, if someone
yeah,
wanted to dive deeper into those, then of course those were the stream. Science was the stream that to go for. But as you
yeah,
also mentioned that you also wanted to explore something new, which can be applied on a day-to-day basis and still get to learn about it. Then that's when
yeah,
you chose commerce as your subject and went for it.
definitely. I mean, I did not want to be a doctor or an engineer because those were traditional
Traditional courses
jobs that
everyone would
people
opt for.
were gunning after. So, I mean, you need to leave some space for some other things as well.
Right.
There are enough doctors and engineers.
The country needs other talents as well to prosper.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And so, how was your journey in class, like while prepping up for the boards of class 12th? Because that also decides which college, considering that you are from the commerce
Mhm.
side and the entire space works like that. So, how was your mindset during attempting the 12th class boards exam? Because you obviously was knowing that this is gonna affect how you're gonna move out of school and into the college life. What was your
Yeah.
mindset in that zone?
So I think the mindset was pretty much clear. As I said earlier, I was gunning after learning of each and every subject. Economics was something that really excited me, and I was really passionate about economics. So I did not take any tuitions into that, and still was able to score 95 in my boards. But for accounts and maths, I did a little. I seeked for some help, but I think the mindset was pretty simple for commerce students. It's getting good grades and getting good college in in Delhi University. If you're going for Delhi University, BCom honors or economics honors are the traditional courses which have really high cutoff. Like for example, the top college SRCC, the cutoff goes up till 99. So you can
Right.
imagine the level of competition that is there for Delhi University. So yeah, I mean, with respect to mindset, that was it. That you have to gun for 95 plus or something above 90 at least to
Right.
get a decent college. And eventually, I did everything, got 91 as the score for my 12th, which was decent, which was, I mean, I felt elated when I got 91%. But eventually, when you see the cutoffs and when you don't get the desired college, that is when it hits the most. So, yeah,
Many students have gone through this in their student life,
yeah,
right?
definitely. And I mean, this leads to a lot of students, being heartbroken that, they don't get to
Right.
uh, go into the desired college. So additionally, what I also did, because after 12th, you are in constant discussions of exploring your options of what you should do,
Right.
what you shouldn't.
Right.
So at that point of time, Delhi University also had three new courses, which were
So,
Bachelor in
Nagender,
Business
I
Economics.
would like to ask you this. Like, you scored 91% in your 12th class. Now, what options were there in front of you, and what options did you take at that point of time to advance in your career? Like, how did you start your college life? Like, going through the entire Delhi University circuit and going into the colleges, seeing various cutoffs, and then judging the parameters, and then the using various permutation combination to choose the right subject, right course for you in your
Yeah.
graduation time. So how was that thing playing out in your life?
Well, I think it was quite painstaking experience of waiting for the cutoff list and then actually going to those colleges, submitting all those papers and filling up your forms for the
Right,
exact course that you want. But eventually, I think for commerce also, people generally do go for either chartered accountancy, they go for CS, they go for BCom honors, they go for eco honors.
right.
So I I did want to go for economics honors, but again, I was not getting a very good college. And having the right faculty for the course that you want to do is very important. That's what I
It makes
feel.
all the difference, I guess. It makes all the difference. Like
Yeah,
having the right
yeah.
faculty and mentors to teach you,
Yeah.
that makes all the difference.
And also I think it's important for, I think students also do this, that when they go to these colleges, they also explore the curriculum of what they will be taught in these courses. So I think that's what important, that's what I also did. And slightly economics honors was getting rid of my list because I thought that it's very much theoretical, and I wanted to do something that is much more that has much more practical application.
Right.
So yeah, that was the effort and the mindset.
So what course did you opt for in which college? Like
So
how
that's
did you
a
came
that's a
to a
different
specific
story.
decision?
I That's a different story actually. I had reserved a seat in Rajdhani College for BCom honors as per the first cutoff list, which I
Qualified for?
which I qualified for. So that was just to reserve the seat. But on the side, there were also some new courses like Bachelor in Business Economics, BBE, BFIA, and BBS, Bachelor in Business Studies. So these were the three professional courses that were being offered by Delhi University in some selective colleges. And luckily, I wrote the paper for these exams, the entrance exam. And to my luck, again, I did get a good rank and
Right,
was able to sort of, block my seat at Khalsa College, Delhi University. So
right.
getting North Campus, I think every student wants that. the charm of North Campus. Every student
Right.
wants to see that for the 3 years of his graduation, his or her graduation. So yeah, I think that was something that that I wanted to study economics as well. I wanted a professional or a practical hands-on learning as well. So these two sort of came together, and I finalized my admission in Khalsa College for BBE.
Nice. Nice. So after you secured your admission in Khalsa College for BBE and you were quite relaxed that, okay, the next 3 years I'm going to stay here and I'm going to
Yeah.
learn all the subjects that I have chosen for. So you were relaxed from the academic point of view. Now,
Yeah.
as you mentioned that you also were into music in your school days. So now the college life actually in India gives you a lot of time and opportunity to explore various aspects of life that already are there. So what did you
Yeah.
indulge in? Like as I remember from your entire history, you had a brief stint with the theater as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So could
So
you please?
what I
Yeah.
did, okay, so I definitely wanted to get into music. Okay, when I started my college, that was one thing that I thought that something that I was not able to do in college, in school, because I was much more focused towards my grades. I could
Yeah.
sort of pursue in college. So for the first year, I was associated with the music group of my college, but the group itself was not very much active, because the music society is active in very selective colleges in Delhi University. So it really is, it depends on how the the seniors and everyone sort of
The auditioning process and
takes
the
you
entire
around,
getting into the
and
society and everything.
how much effort do they take. So first year went with that, and I was still feeling that I'm not, I mean, there's something that I'm missing. So luckily, the theater group of my college was one of the best theater groups in Delhi University theater circuit. And one
And
of
can
my
you name any
batchmates,
can you name any famous alumni of your theater circuit? So for the better understanding of the viewers, like if there is any famous alumni from
I
your
think
theater
you
circuit.
might have seen Kuljit Singh. Uh, Kuljit Singh has been a quite popular theater personnel in Delhi University, as well as uh, he's been acting in various movies.
In the entertainment
Uh,
industry of India.
yeah, and there are a couple of seniors whom I see working right now in various art films, short films.
And web
So that
series
is
and
there.
everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Great.
So
So,
that was, yeah. Sorry.
so
Yeah, go on.
Nagender, how did the theater experience change your mindset? Because till now, all the students that have been indulged in like reading, learning, and just mugging the things up and just vomiting out on the exam papers and all that. How did theater change your perspective? Change the like how were you changed after the exposure that you got because of the theater?
Well, at first it was exciting yet challenging, because the theater group was consisting of about 40 members, 30 to 40 members, all 30 to 40 having different opinions, different ideologies. So working with that big group is a challenge, as well as there is some scope of learning as well. So what I learned from theater was how to be a part of team, and how to sort of uh, be an active team player, you know how to sort of get things done in within a team, working with
And
different
within
people,
within the confined
within
resources of the team.
confined resources. Yeah, definitely. So
And
that was
along
there.
with that, yeah,
Understanding different people, observation. So these
yeah,
are some things that I really learned from theater.
yeah. Apart from that, what I also believe, what I also look forward to the theater guys is that they have a very amazing understanding of the environment around them, how to deal
Yeah.
with the environment pieces around them, be it a small stone, a table, an almirah, or any sort of thing. It opens up the perspective and observation skills of the mind as well, keeping the creative side in mind. So that's
Yeah.
also, you definitely must have experienced all these things as well.
Yeah, I mean, those things are, I think, part of your theater experience, and you learn those small things on your journey. And when you perform in front of audience, that is the feedback that you get of
And
how to
live and
sort of
immediate feedback.
live and immediate feedback. Exactly.
Yeah. And so you did it for 2 years and you enjoyed your graduation time to the most, balancing academics and theater simultaneously. So
Yeah.
for the perspective of the audience, like after graduation, what was your first job that you went into?
So my first job was with EY,
Mhm.
and with EY, I was that was my first step into corporate world. And like any other person, I think people are really fascinated by the corporate world in their first step. So EY was a very lovely organization that I worked for. And yeah, I think, I mean, that was the stepping stone of my career.
So were you like, you came from a creative perspective for the last 2 years and then suddenly you stepped into the corporate world. So were you satisfied or happy and excited about what you are entering into after experiencing all those things in the job?
Well, I was happy because I was getting paid, because in college, after college, when you
Right,
when you
right,
get your
right.
first job, that is the most exciting thing, right? But eventually, after a year, I started feeling that this is not something that I really want to do. And I then, side by side, I also worked on freelance basis with some
Right.
startups. So that was also there, just to sort of, vent out my creative energies.
Right. As you graduated from college in around 2015, startups were really emerging up. It was one of the biggest startup
Been.
booms India had seen in the recent years. And
Yeah,
you also
yeah,
wanted to like be on that bandwagon and be a part of it.
definitely. I mean, startups offered a great learning experience. Starting anything from scratch is an wholesome experience that you can get.
Exactly.
So working in anything, or just I just thought that I will just dive into this and see where I go, because
Like managing one simple.
no matter what, I will come back with some or the other experience that will help me in future.
Of course, and considering the journey that you had, managing just one KRA in ENY and then managing different responsibilities and juggling, shuffling between multiple responsibilities in a startup, you obviously get to learn a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you are working in one of the most amazing global media companies we have at the moment. How did you reach here? Like, what was the journey of getting into this company and exploring the creative side of business, I would say.
So as I said, I mean, I after a year with EY, I was not really feeling satisfied with the work I was doing. So I feel that your job either has to pay you very well so that you're motivated, or at least the work has to be interesting so that you are motivated
Right.
in doing that. So with EY, I was not really motivated to sort of work, continuously. And I reached out to my network. I reached out to people, asking them if there's anything
If they
available.
can refer you somewhere
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
get the ball rolling.
So then I one of my friends uh, told me about this opportunity at the present organization, and I went there. I did my interview, and the interview was all about the theater that I did for 2 years. And the
And
interview was all
not of
about
the studies
not
which
about
you
the
did for 15
studies.
years.
not about the studies that I did for 15 years, but because I know that, that study will be there. I mean, those things do come in handy, but eventually, if you're willing to do something, you can do anything. So that was my mindset. I just thought that, I will not talk about business economics. I will talk more about theater, which can help me make my case strong.
Right.
And eventually I got this job, and since then I've been curating content for the TV channel for almost 4 years now.
So what's your day-to-day job is like? What do you do on a day-to-day basis for this organization?
So I watch a lot of content. I analyze the ratings as well for the content that is there, and that analysis also goes into planning the planning each and every quarter for the channel,
Right.
and
Right.
giving the audience what they like more, with slight bit of experiment, and yeah, and just keeping the ratings high. That's what my KRA is.
But that's very interesting, KRA, that you get to juggle between a lot of things and content and still push out all the things for the viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Nagender, let me brief you about the new education policy that has been announced by the government of India last year. According
Right.
to this policy, what the scenario of the education system will be from the next coming year is that the traditional courses or the traditional streams of science, commerce, and arts will be abolished, and all the vocational courses like TV production, TV media editing, and all these kind of vocational courses will come into spotlight. So,
Yeah.
what are your views regarding this NEP 2020?
Well, I think this is great because we did not have this option. We were just stuck with science, commerce, or arts. And again, in that aspect, also, arts was something that was considered, the lowest, even
Yep.
though I don't think so, because a person can fly wherever he would like to with arts as well. But again, I think this will bring about a change in mindset of the people, as well as this will definitely help in getting more and more skilled people, more and more
Right.
skilled workforce in our
Required,
country.
tailor-made and required with the industry.
Yeah, definitely.
And moreover, it will be much these art courses will be validated and accepted in the society in the coming years. So
Yeah,
it won't
and
be like, yeah.
more than that, I also think that you know uh, this choice will help the students to realize their true interest, or the true uh, calling that they want to do. So they can try different things, and maybe if one thing doesn't work, they can obviously change to some other thing. I think that
Right.
option definitely will help a lot of students in their
Out there.
careers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Nagender, one of the things that definitely would excite the viewers as well. What are the exciting opportunities are there in your industry which will be very much useful for the students or whoever is getting skilled in this kind of I would say skills. Yeah.
Well, I think, like as you mentioned, for example, AV production, or you know, uh, maybe analytics or something like that. Because you see, even now, people, whatever jobs they are doing, whatever things that they studied, that they graduated or did masters in, they're still going for online courses to sort of better their understanding
Right.
towards a particular subject. So
Right.
that will definitely help a lot of people from the start only to sort of have a better understanding at different things, and will also eliminate uh one thing where it's how do I put it, if a person who's not wanting to do something but eventually is doing that, I think
Basically
those cases will
filtering out the interested people for the job rather than just because
yeah,
of the necessity a person is doing that job.
yeah.
So basically that will be much more helpful for the entire industry as well.
True.
Yeah. So what are the things that where do you see this industry going in the coming time? Like what the students would have to look for in the future?
I think they have a wide variety of or wide spectrum of things that they can look for. Now, I can't really say what they should be looking at, but eventually I think it's up to the students. If someone is really interested in maybe say interior designing, they can probably go into that. If someone is really interested in architecture, they could go into that. Or maybe cooking could be, as lucrative career option as a doctor.
Right,
So
right.
that is the change I think this new education policy would bring in.
Right. And as you rightly mentioned that there would be requirements of architects as well. And many
Yeah,
people don't know that to design a production set, architects are required in that as well.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's also one of the horizon that the students can look up to. That okay, I'm not confined to designing homes or designing something like that. I can actually design a production set and go into how do these things look and all these kind of things.
Yeah, true.
So I guess the students have a lot of opportunities coming up their way, and it's up to the students how much they want to grab and how they want to grab.
Yeah, agree.
Great, great. Thank you, Nagender. Well, this sums up our entire discussion about your journey and the industry that you are working and what the scope of industry is going to be in the coming years and how the students are going to take benefit of that. Thanks for your time and thank you for being in this interactive session that we planned. And more power to you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Well, I think it's a great initiative by Amee-AI that you guys are doing. Students always want things like these to sort of, expand their learning or their understanding of things, of
Right,
how, because things in school may seem different, and when they eventually go into a corporate world or a job or a business, they become different. So I think this is a great thing that you are doing, and yeah, more power to you. Good work.
thanks for the encouraging and more powerful words. Thanks for that. Okay,
Cheers.
signing off. Take care. Thank you, brother.
Okay, bye.